I called my girlfriend's sister and said, "Sister, I am willing to marry you." My girlfriend and I agreed to get our marriage certificate on Thanksgiving Day, but she didn't show up even after 8 phone calls. "Don't bother me, I'm busy." While waiting, I saw the circle of friends posted by her assistant. In the photo, they were very close and blew out the candles on the cake together, as if they were made for each other. Caption: having you come to celebrate my birthday with me is the best birthday gift God has given me. I called my girlfriend to confront her, but she again refused to listen. It wasn't until half an hour later that she sent a message. "He donated blood for me and saved my life, can't you understand?" 1. After reading this message, I was completely discouraged. After 7 years of relationship, he is not as good as the assistant who donated blood for her once. I called her sister Chu Shinran and said, "Sister, do you still mean what you said? If so, I am willing to marry you." Chu Shinran is the half-sister of his girlfriend Chu Yuyu. For various reasons, the two have loved competing since childhood. This also includes love. Chu Shinran on the phone was silent for a moment. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure," I replied, "but I don't know if you're willing to do it. I'm discussing a project abroad now. Wait for me for half a month, and we'll get married when I come back." "Okay, I'll wait for you." Without thinking, I agreed to Chu Shinran and started packing my luggage. It was already late at night when Chu Yuyu got home. I didn't stick to him as enthusiastically as before, but just quietly packed my luggage. "Please get me some pajamas. I'm very tired today." As always, she ordered me to get my pajamas, turned around and walked into the bathroom without even looking at me. I used to get excited every time she asked me to get my pajamas, because that was her sending me some kind of signal. But now, I have calmed down and continued to pack my own belongings. Soon, she opened the bathroom door, and seeing that I was calm, she frowned slightly and said, "Why don't you go get your pajamas? Why don't you wear your favorite one tonight?" "I'm going back home," I said calmly, zipping up my suitcase, and not telling her that I was marrying her sister. She hadn't noticed I was packing until now. "Can you please stop making trouble?" Shu Yuyu said indifferently. "Li Yan donated blood for me and saved my life. He is my savior. He only celebrates his birthday once a year, so of course I have to accompany him. Are you jealous just because of such a small thing? Small matter? Jealous?" Getting a marriage certificate, something that takes a lifetime, seems to her to be just a trivial matter, not even as important as other people's birthdays once a year. Yes. It's all my fault that I loved her too humbly, so that she instinctively thought that everything should revolve around her. But not now. I no longer miss this humble love. Can you please stop fussing over such a small matter? We can get the marriage certificate anytime, right? She came to me and her tone became gentle, as if giving me a way out, but her words made me angry again. Really? I couldn't hold back my anger any longer. In your opinion, our marriage certificate is a trivial matter, but his birthday is a top priority, right? Certainly. With almost no hesitation, Chu Yuyu gave a decisive answer. I looked at her in disbelief. I couldn't believe she would answer like that. I still remember when we first fell in love, she said that the air was sweet as long as she was with me. She was really clingy at that time. When I was injured and hospitalized, she immediately dropped her work and stayed in the hospital to take care of me all day and all night for a full half month, never leaving. She doesn't allow me to have any female friends around me. She says, "You have me, and that's all you need." She even screened the boys I dated, "This guy has a bad temper, that guy doesn't look sincere." In my daily life, she felt that the clothes I bought were not tasteful enough, so almost every piece of clothing I wore, from the inside out, was bought by her. At that time, she took great care of me. Although her love is overbearing, I also like that feeling. But now, she is no longer that person. And I was planning to leave. Looking at her determined eyes, I didn't feel angry. Instead, I felt as if something had been let go in my heart. In that case, there is no need to get the marriage certificate. I turned around, walked towards my bedroom and closed the door heavily. Leaning against the door, I felt that the last thought in my heart was closing along with the door. "Xin Yan, it's not that I don't want to get a marriage certificate with you." Shu Yuyu's voice came from outside. "We have been together for so many years, don't you know how I feel about you? Stop messing around, okay?" She looked like she was apologizing. But I heard a kind of sarcasm. I ignored my parents' objections and faced pressure, and insisted on staying in another place to marry her. Over the past few years, I have cherished this relationship very much, but she was indifferent to everything I did. On the contrary, her assistant just donated blood for her once and received all her love. I didn't answer her. She wandered outside the door for a long time, but finally stopped pestering me. Oh, forgot. In the past, I was always the one who comforted her, and even if she did something wrong, I was the one who took the initiative to give her a way out. Today, she took the initiative to ask for forgiveness, which was unprecedented. How could she bow her head? A message came from the cell phone. I instinctively thought it was Chu Yuyu. But when she opened WeChat, it turned out to be a message from her assistant Li Yan. Yuyu, thank you for spending my birthday with me today. It feels like a dream today. I'm so happy. By the way, I have sorted out a lot of photos and posted them on WeChat Moments. Can you give me a like? Before I could get dazed, Li Yan sent another message. I'm sorry Qin Yan, I sent it by mistake, don't be angry, I will withdraw it now. I smiled coldly. Did he send it by mistake? Or did he do it on purpose? What a deep scheme. Thinking back to the first time I met Li Yan, he was just a college graduate who knew nothing and was ostracized everywhere in the company. Later he made a mistake at work and was about to be fired by the company. He came to me and begged me crying, saying that his family was very poor and he couldn't live without this job. I was moved by him, so I spoke for him in front of Chu Yuyu and even introduced him to Chu Yuyu. Thanks to my promotion, he came into contact with Chu Yuyu and became Chu Yuyu's assistant. But I didn't expect that the person I promoted personally would be the one who stabbed me in the back. After booking a flight back home, I submitted my resignation letter the next day. Chu Yuyu looked at my resignation letter and was silent for a long time. Can you not resign? No. I didn't wait for her consent and turned away. As her hand grasped the door handle, Chu Yuyu shouted, next Monday. I turned around and looked at Chu Yuyu. A trace of nervousness appeared on her face. I will accompany you to get the marriage certificate next Monday. Trust me for once. Last time was really an accident. I should have said no. But I don't know why, I couldn't say it out loud. The little moments I had with her appeared unconsciously in my mind. Especially a year ago, my highly anticipated design proposal was not selected, which was a huge blow to me. It was she who, regardless of everything, waited for 3 days for the third master and begged for an opportunity for me. Later, my design was successfully noticed by Nanshin International and won the Best Design Award of the year. I remember every little bit of her kindness clearly. Monday, okay? Chu Yuyu asked again. She looked nervous, yet seemed to care a lot. I suddenly thought, if I tell her now that I'm going back to get married, and the person I'm going to marry is her sister, I wonder what her expression will be. I didn't think too much about what she said about next Monday. After handing in my resignation letter, I returned home and looked at the photos hanging on the walls of the house, and all those little memories came to my mind again. I didn't want to keep any of these, so I took down all the photos and burned them in the brazier. But just when I was burning the photos, Chu Yuyu, who was supposed to be in the company, suddenly came back for some reason. What are you doing? When she saw me throwing all the photos into the fire basin, her face was full of nervousness. Even tried to save those photos that hadn't been burned. But the flame is very big. She failed several times. Why? Chu Yuyu looked at me, her eyes instantly turned red, and her voice trembled. She didn't look like she was faking it. She really cares. But I find it ridiculous that she can cherish these photos so much but not care about the feelings of a living person like me. Isn't this ridiculous? I looked at her calmly. If you no longer have each other in your heart, then these photos don't matter. Why are you still mad about that? She yelled at me angrily. Didn't I explain it to you very clearly? Next Monday, we will go to get the marriage certificate. What else do you want from me? In the past, if she had been so emotional, I would have gotten nervous too. But now, her cry makes me particularly calm. I smiled indifferently. After getting the marriage certificate, we can go traveling and take a lot of wedding photos, so it doesn't matter if we don't have these old photos. What do you think? Travel and take photos? Chu Yuyu muttered to herself. She seemed to have thought of something and immediately said, that's the only way. Li Yan also said last time that he wanted to travel to Dali. Let's go together. Her words sent a pang through my heart again. Sure enough, she would mention Li Yan first. Even if what I said was that we would travel as a couple after getting our marriage certificate, she still wanted to bring Li Yan with her. This is her. I wanted to slap myself. I knew she was like that, but I still had a glimmer of fantasy in my heart. At night, Chu Shinran called and said, I am attending an auction here and bought you a diamond ring called Dream Life. I will put it on you personally on the wedding day. Good. I nodded in agreement. Don't you want to say anything more to me? Chu Shinran asked. We'll talk about it when you come back, I said. Okay. Chu Shinran paused for a moment and continued, after you put on the ring, you will be mine. Do you understand what I mean? I understand. Don't worry. I knew she was worried, so I said calmly, since I have chosen you, there will be no changes. After finishing the call and just about to take a shower and go to bed, the phone rang again. It is an invitation to a design competition from Manhwa International. The invitation letter will be delivered tomorrow. I really like designing. It gives me a sense of accomplishment and a feeling of nurturing life. I was so excited after receiving the invitation that I couldn't sleep well the whole night. Until the doorbell rang the next day. But I didn't expect that the person who sent me the invitation was Li Yan. Xin Yan, you are amazing. Even Nanhua International is so impressed by your design. I wish I could be half as good as you. Why was he the one to deliver the invitation? It doesn't matter anymore. I stretched out my hand and said coldly, give it to me. Seeing me reaching out my hand, he still held the invitation tightly in his hand. Brother Qinyan, I know this is a bit difficult to ask, but I really want this opportunity. I am also a design major, but I have never had the opportunity to participate in such a high-level design competition. Can you give me this place? I was so angry that I laughed. You said it yourself, this is unreasonable, why do you still bring it up? Don't you think it's ridiculous? I reached out and tried to snatch the invitation letter, but he still held it tightly and refused to let go. He looked aggrieved. Xin Yan, we are colleagues, there is no need for you to humiliate me like this, right? Besides, this is just an invitation. What's the harm even if you give it to me? I still have to rely on my own strength to win the award. His shamelessness once again refreshed my 3 views. I lost my patience and in the struggle, the invitation was torn in half. Li Yan suddenly lost gravity and fell to the ground. The current situation of This scene happened to be seen by Chu Yuyu. Li Yan? Are you okay? She stepped forward and immediately asked if Li Yan was injured. I was standing there as well, but she ignored me the first time. It's okay. Li Yan sat on the ground, his face full of grievance. I came here to give Qin Yan an invitation letter. I originally wanted to discuss with Brother Qin Yan whether he could give me this opportunity, but Brother Qin Yan. He deliberately stopped talking halfway through, leaving everything for Chu Yuyu to guess. To bystanders, the scene in front of me naturally seemed like I was bullying Li Yan. His counterattack made me realize how scheming he is. I was so angry that I was shaking. I pointed at the torn invitation on the ground and said, the invitation originally belonged to me. You shamelessly tried to occupy it and even destroyed my invitation. Do you feel wronged? I thought this was explained clearly enough. But what I didn't expect was that Chu Yuyu's face suddenly darkened. I thought it was a big deal. Xin Yan, you knew that Li Yan was weak, but you bullied him for such a small matter? You've gone too far. I want you to apologize to Li Yan right now. I looked at Chu Yuyu in disbelief. I apologize? Her every word echoed in my mind over and over again. I can't believe this is Chu Yuyu's attitude. If you don't apologize, do you still want Li Yan to apologize? Chu Yuyu's face looked very unhappy. She no longer cared about my attitude and walked away with Li Yan. Before leaving, Li Yan said, Yuyu, although this matter is Qin Yan's fault, I don't blame him. I was silent for a long time as I watched the 2 people leave. What an ironic statement. What a sarcastic person. This finally made me 100% sure that choosing to marry her sister was the right decision. After a long time, the phone rang. It was a message from Chu Yuyu. Qin Yan, don't take this to heart. I'm not blaming you, but you also know that he saved my life, so you should give in to him and be considerate, okay? Is this a big stick or a candy? Ridiculous explanation. In the past, I would have been furious at this explanation. But now, I am already exhausted physically and mentally, and I no longer have that feeling of unwillingness in my heart. Maybe, I have really let her go. Fortunately, Chu Shinran will be back soon. Now I am especially looking forward to the moment when she gets the invitation to attend my wedding with her sister. At 8:30 in the evening, Chu Shinran called on time. How is it? Did you miss me? I smiled bitterly. Yes, I thought about it many times today. Chu Shinran seemed a little unconvinced and asked, really? I answered her confidently, absolutely true. Humph, I believe you. Chu Shinran seemed to be very happy today and said, by the way, I have asked my assistant to help with the wedding preparations. Tomorrow you can go and look at wedding dresses and the hotel for the banquet with my assistant, right? No, you don't need to prepare these. I refused and said, let's get married in my hometown. I will hold a grand wedding and it will definitely satisfy you. Before Chu Shinran on the phone could answer, Chu Yuyu said in surprise from behind, wedding? I didn't say I was going to have a wedding? Who are you talking to? Why didn't you discuss the wedding with me? I turned around calmly, looked at Chu Yuyu who was shocked, and said, if I'm not marrying you, why should I discuss this with you? Not marrying me? You're going to marry? Who? Nervous, doubtful, uneasy. At this moment, Chu Yuyu looked very complicated. A sense of interest arose in my heart. There's no need to tell her the truth, she won't care anyway. Now I just want to give her a surprise, and hope that when she sees me getting married to her sister, she will think it is a surprise. I smiled slightly and said, I was just joking with you. Actually, it's my friend's wedding, and you know him. Chu Yuyu seemed relieved, but still asked in confusion, I know him? Who? It's a secret that I can't tell you for now. You'll know when you attend the wedding. I thought for a moment and added, this wedding will definitely surprise you. Oh, really? Chu Yuyu said indifferently, I won't be surprised if anyone gets married. Then she said with a bad look on her face, I came here just to talk to you. You made Li Yan unhappy for such a small matter. Don't you think it's too much? I think you should apologize to him. Otherwise, I won't attend your friend's wedding. She left with these words and strode away. If it were in the past, I certainly wouldn't be able to accept her favoring others like this. But now, I feel very calm inside and just hope that the wedding day will come soon. On Monday, Chu Yuyu pulled me out of bed early. Wake up, have you forgotten? I promised you that we would get the marriage certificate today. I had already given up hope, but I followed her into the car anyway. She seemed to be in a good mood today. After getting in the car, she had a lot to say and I hummed along. What? You're not happy about getting the marriage certificate today? Chu Yuyu seemed to notice my abnormality and asked. If two people no longer love each other, can this relationship last even if they get married? I looked at her calmly. If one day, you no longer love me. Impossible. Before I could finish, Chu Yuyu interrupted me firmly. She looked at me seriously and said, Qin Yan, my feelings for you have been there for more than a day or two, and I definitely didn't get together with you on impulse. Please believe me, my feelings for you have never changed. Her words did not make me happy. Instead, I felt a pain in my heart again. I believe she loved me too. But now, she is always concerned about the young assistant, not me. Maybe she herself hasn't figured this out yet. I believe you. I smiled calmly and didn't want to discuss this topic. I opened the passenger seats box and wanted to take out some mineral water to drink, but I saw a bunch of photos inside. They are all photos of Chu Yuyu and Li Yan. I paused for a moment, picked up the photo and looked through it. In several of the photos, the two of them looked very intimate. Yes, they are a couple. I looked at the photos calmly, and no longer felt the pain I had felt before. Chu Yuyu naturally saw it too. She frowned slightly and said unnaturally, Li Yan is really something. Last time I celebrated his birthday with him, he insisted on taking photos as a souvenir. He took a lot of photos, but he actually forgot to take them away. Really? I smiled and put the photo back. You don't have to explain. Of course, you won't care about such a small matter, right? She smiled at me as she drove. As if all this was taken for granted. And I should just turn a blind eye to all this. But she may never have thought about whose boyfriend could endure all this? But all this won't last long. She can continue to do whatever she wants, and I will soon marry another woman. The appearance of these photos made the car, which should have been silent, even more depressing. She didn't say anything else, so I naturally didn't ask any more questions. Halfway through the journey, her cell phone rang. Chu Yuyu didn't even glance at it. Please answer the phone for me. Good. I picked up her phone. The caller ID displayed the two words Yan Yan. After answering the call, I pressed the hands-free button, and Lian's voice came from it. Yu, I'm sorry, I know you were going to get your marriage certificate with Qin Yan today, I shouldn't have disturbed you, but I really feel pain all over my body now. Yu suddenly looked nervous and asked, how could this happen? Lian said, it may be caused by your blood donation. After that blood donation, I felt very weak. I would catch a cold and have a fever if I was exposed to the wind and sun. Then go to the hospital quickly. Yuyu's face was full of worry. Lian's voice was painful, I can't go. I'm in so much pain all over my body that I can't get out of bed. When I heard this, I just found it ridiculous. It's just donating blood, how could there be such serious side effects? But Yu took it all seriously. She stopped the car in the middle of the road, then said nervously to the phone, wait for me, I'll come and take you to the hospital right away. This should have been what Lian expected to hear, but he said in a teasing tone, no need to come, it's okay for me to be in pain, you can't delay your marriage certificate because of me. Don't say anything, I'll be right there. Yu hung up the phone decisively. Then she looked at me, Qin Yan, he saved me, you can understand, right? Such familiar words. In the past I would have argued with her. And now, I just hummed calmly. Yu looked at me and said uncomfortably, I'll send him to the hospital and then come back to get the marriage certificate with you, don't worry. Okay, go ahead. I have no intention of keeping you. Open the door and get out of the car. As I watched her drive away, I knew in my heart that she wasn't coming. But I still stupidly stood at the Civil Affairs Bureau waiting for her for the whole day. I was calm throughout the day. The phone was equally quiet. The Taoyuan city. Until I get off work here. She didn't show up, nor did she call or even send a text message. I laughed at myself and said, see, if you knew it would be like this, what were you still expecting? When I got home, it was already past 7 in the evening. The phone finally rang. I don't know why. I shouldn't be looking forward to it, but I couldn't help but keep an eye on my phone. However, when I opened my phone, the message inside was not from Yu, but from Lian. I'm sorry, brother Qin Yan. It's my fault for delaying your marriage certificate. In fact, I didn't expect that Yu would give up a whole day for me, and even give up getting the marriage certificate with you. It would be better to say that he was showing off rather than apologizing. This is the most green tea person I have ever seen. I didn't think much about it and blocked Lian directly. Just as he was about to take a shower, Yu sent a message, I'm sorry Qin Yan, I didn't mean to break the appointment. It's just that Lian couldn't leave. He saved my life. You will understand me, right? Looking at this ridiculous inquiry, I no longer had the emotion I had at the beginning, and just replied calmly. He saved your life, you really should take care of him. As for getting the certificate, any day is fine. I will understand. She replied almost immediately, you finally seem sensible for once. Wait for me to come back and give you a surprise. I smiled calmly and sent a voice message, I have prepared a surprise for you too. I picked up my luggage that had already been packed and left, leaving a wedding invitation for Yu before leaving. There was no name on the wedding invitation, only the location of the hotel was indicated. When I got on the train back to my hometown, I no longer felt any reluctance, but just felt a lot more relaxed. The shackles are gone, never to exist again. When I left the train, it was already 11 o'clock in the evening. Yu called me, Qin Yan, where are you? Where did you go so late? She would ask me why I was not at home late at night, as if she was concerned about me. But she often accompanies Lian until late at night. Isn't this ridiculous? I smiled calmly and replied, I went back to my hometown. Why so sudden? Yu said with a hint of reproach, you didn't even tell me? I laughed at myself and said, you are busy. She was silent for a moment, then said, I'm sorry, Qin Yan. I know that this incident today made you very angry. I thought you would understand me. At Rabbit, see Rabbit Story $House 9 Why Pickup Question This J7 Text, hashtag Do Not Why Private MW Selfie Move PM, Transport Era. Before she could finish, I interrupted her and said, of course I understand. He donated blood for you, so of course you should put him first. Without waiting for her to continue, I hung up the phone. But within a minute, she called again, can you please stop making trouble? This is an emergency today and I have to deal with it. Am I the one making trouble? She has left me again and again, and it has become a joke to me. Whatever. It's all over. I smiled calmly and said, "Oh? What about that one?" The doctor said. Shu Yuyu paused for a moment and said, "The doctor said that Lian's body is too weak and he needs to rest and recuperate." "Oh, so that means nothing will happen to him even if you don't go, right?" I asked. "Maybe." Shu Yuyu explained, "but at that time, he—" "No need to explain. I will understand you." I interrupted Chu Yuyu's explanation again, thinking of the wedding invitation, and said, "By the way, I've left the wedding invitation for you. It's on the bedside table. Come to the wedding when you have time. You know both of the people who got married. They are all looking forward to your participation." After I finished speaking, Chu Yuyu said slowly, "I won't come to participate. I'm very busy recently." "Whatever you want." I didn't say anything more and hung up the phone. Hail a taxi. On the way in the car, Chu Xinran called and said, "I will return to China tomorrow." "Are you finally coming back?" I said calmly, "I'll send you the location of my home." "No need." The Qin family in southern Beijing is one of the top wealthy families in the south. They have a prominent status. Do we still need positioning to find them? Chu Xinran said with a playful accent. I frowned slightly after hearing that. Over the years, I have never revealed my identity. Every time Chu Yuyu asked me, I just said that my home was in southern Beijing and I ran a small business. She wouldn't delve into my family background. But Chu Xinran, she actually investigated everything clearly. Maybe she had already done some research before agreeing to marry me? I thought about it for a moment and then stopped thinking about it. None of this matters anymore. All I want is Chu Yuyu to see me marrying her sister. When I got home, my mother was very happy to learn that I was finally willing to start a family. We had a deep chat all night and I told her that I was going to marry Chu Xinran. After learning about Chu Xinran's background, my mother didn't say anything more. She just told me that marriage is not a joke and asked me to think it over carefully. In fact, she has always wanted me to marry into the Lu family in southern Beijing. That's why I ran away from home and never wanted to come back. The next morning, my mother cooked breakfast for me. While I was eating breakfast, Chu Yuyu called me. "Xin Yan, did you save the file I asked you to do for me last time?" "I can't find it on the computer." I asked back, "Shouldn't you handle these things yourself, or let your assistant handle them?" Chu Yuyu said impatiently, "Xin Yan, stop joking. I need those documents urgently for a meeting today. You know, I don't trust others to do some things." Does she think I'm kidding? 2. In the past, I helped her handle many of her affairs, including company documents. She just needed one last check. But this time, I really wasn't kidding her. I calmly replied, "I'm sorry, Miss Chu, I didn't do that document, you can figure it out yourself." "What did you call me?" Chu Yuyu's voice sounded surprised on the phone. Hearing her surprised look, I raised the corners of my mouth and emphasized, "Miss Chu, I'll hang up if there's nothing else." "You." Chu Yuyu only had time to say this word before I hung up the phone. I felt very happy when I imagined that she might be stamping her feet in anger over there. My mother looked at me curiously. "Which Miss Chu?" "Chu Xinran's sister, Chu Yuyu." My mother frowned when she heard my answer. Of course she knows what I've been doing outside over the years. She has always arranged people to observe me around, and she knows everything I have done outside over the years. This naturally also includes Chu Yuyu, Chu Xinran, and all the information about the Chu family. "Mom, if there's nothing else, I want to take a nap." I ate breakfast in a hurry, said goodbye to my mother, and went upstairs to sleep. I slept very comfortably, from day to dark, until I was woken up by the phone. "I'm going to arrive at Jingnan Airport soon. Will you pick me up yourself or ask the driver to pick me up?" Chu Xinran's voice came from the phone. Without even thinking, I said, "I'll drive over to pick you up." "Did you dote on my sister like this before?" Chu Xinran's question left me silent. Yes. I used to pamper her so much. But so what? This did not prevent her from falling in love with Li Yan. Thinking of this, I said unhappily, "You'd better take a taxi to my house." "Come on, I was just joking with you, why are you so angry?" Chu Xinran said with a smile, "Come to the airport quickly. Although our marriage is temporary, I also hope that the first person I see when I return home is my future husband." When I arrived at the airport, I saw Chu Xinran from a distance. She is tall and has a look that is somewhat similar to Chu Yuyu. But her temperament is completely different from Chu Yuyu's. If Chu Yu is willful and unruly, then she is a gentle, elegant, and mature queen. I stood far away and didn't call her. Until she looked around the crowd and saw me. You saw me, why didn't you call me? Chu Xinran came to me with dissatisfaction. I looked at her calmly. Because you were so beautiful, I forgot the time and everything for a moment, and only you are in my eyes. Slippery tongue. Chu Xinran looked at me with a look of both happiness and displeasure. Are you like this to my sister as well? She can't compare to you. Hearing Chu Yu's 3 words, I turned around and opened the car door. Get in the car. Chu Xinran got in the car, and when I was driving, she suddenly asked, It seems that you still mind the 3 words Chu Yu? Not again. I said nothing more and drove home. Chu Xinran often runs around outside and is eloquent. After coming to my house, he had a very good chat with my mother. The wedding procedures began to proceed in an orderly manner. I specially spent 300 million to buy the pink diamond star as a wedding ring for Chu Xinran. This news caused a sensation in the circle and was reported in the news. When I was trying on my wedding dress, Chu Xinran came over with my phone. Yu is calling you. I glanced at her and said, You answer it. Isn't this a bit bad? Chu Xinran handed me the phone and walked out. I watched her leave and didn't stop her. As soon as the call was connected, Chu Yu's complaining voice came, Xin Yan, do you know? The pink diamond star diamond ring that I have always wanted was auctioned off for a high price of 300 million. It's really abominable. I originally planned to wear that diamond ring when I got married. Really? I smiled calmly, Miss Chu, if there is nothing else, I will hang up. Xin Yan. Chu Yu shouted in dissatisfaction, Why do you feel like you have changed completely after returning to your hometown? I just thought it was ridiculous and asked back, Is it me who has changed, or you? The call went silent. I didn't think much about it and just hung up the phone. It wasn't until I finished trying on the dress that Chu Yu called me again. Xin Yan, I have been reflecting a lot on Li Yan's matter recently. I know that I was inconsiderate and didn't take your feelings into consideration in this matter. Don't be angry, okay? Aren't you angry? That's right, I'm about to get married, why should I be angry with you? I smiled calmly, Don't worry, I won't be angry. Feeling my indifference, she became very warm, Xin Yan, when I finish my work, I will come to find you and attend the wedding with you, okay? What's wrong with her? Do you want to save this relationship? Unfortunately, it's all too late. I said to the phone confidently, I will definitely attend the wedding. As for whether you come or not, that is your business and has nothing to do with me. My mother personally arranged a luxurious and grand wedding for me. However, for me, the wedding did not bring me much joy or sense of accomplishment. I treated the guests who came to congratulate me coldly. I'm only looking forward to one person's appearance in my heart, that's all. Until the moment I was about to put the diamond ring on Chu Xinran's finger amid the blessings from all around, the crowd became restless. A familiar figure walked through the crowd. She looked at Chu Xinran and me with disbelief. With tears in his eyes. Finally, he asked me loudly, Xin Yan, the friend's wedding you were talking about turned out to be your own. I should have been looking forward to it, but at this moment I was unusually calm, of course. He. Chu Yu seemed to have heard a huge joke. She took a step back, a tear rolled down the corner of her eye, and she shouted, Why? No reason, because I like Chu Xinran more, that's all. I took the opportunity to hug Chu Xinran and expressed my attitude in front of her. I don't think it's excessive. Because these are what she did in the past. Panic and confusion flashed in her eyes. Maybe she still doesn't think she did anything wrong. She was in a trance for a moment, then walked up to me in small steps, looking at me with tears in her eyes. Xin Yan, please stop making trouble, okay? You must be joking with me because you are angry. We have been together for so many years, you will not give up on me, right? I ruthlessly shook off her hand. Miss Chu, please respect yourself. I am a married man now. Chu Xinran also spoke at this time. Sister, thank you for coming to my wedding. We haven't seen each other for more than a year. I miss you very much, but now your brother-in-law and I have to continue the wedding. Please go aside first. I will come to reminisce with you after the wedding is over. No, you. Chu Yu didn't say the next words. She leaned back and fainted. After someone sent her to the hospital, the wedding continued. The wedding room in the dead of night. Chu Xinran and I are very far apart. I sat on the bed and played with my phone. I stood by the window and looked out silently. Although we are married, we still look like strangers. It was not until a long time later that Chu Shinran spoke first. Is it too much to treat my sister like this today? Don't you want to see that, too? I said without even turning my head. Why else would you agree to marry me? Chu Shinran was silent for a moment. Actually, it's not like that. My father abandoned me and my mother since we were young and gave all his love to Yu. I hate my father. It's all the same, I said calmly, and drank the wine in the glass. I thought Chu Shinran would not explain, but she walked behind me and hugged me. No, it's different. She started talking about her childhood, telling me a lot of things I didn't know. Family tragedy caused by parents' divorce. Her growth, her youth. She said a lot. Until my phone rang. Chu Shinran picked up the phone and handed it to me. It's her. I said affirmatively. You take it. This time, Chu Shinran did not avoid it and she answered the phone. Shu Yuyu's crying voice came from inside. She didn't say anything, but sang a song in a crying voice. Missing you is a very mysterious thing, following you everywhere, silently and breathlessly appearing in my heart and swallowing me up in an instant. I am powerless to resist in the loneliness, especially at night. Oh, I miss you so much that I can't breathe. I am willing to do it for you, I am willing to do it for you, I am willing to do it for you. Forget my name, even if it's just for one more second, I can stay in your arms, and it wouldn't be a pity to lose the world. Her singing voice is beautiful and sad. But I put my phone aside and picked up Chu Shinran by the waist. This can be regarded as a request from your sister. We should rest. The phone call never ended. She witnessed my wedding night, and I gave her a heart-wrenching answer.